What's going on, everybody? Give me my Game of Thrones episode 3. Okay, season 7, episode 3. Kind of recap here. Very, very, very interesting events here. Okay. Um, let's see if we can kind of do this here. So bear with me. There we go. All right. So right now, um, Jon Snow is right here in Dragonstone, right? That's Dragonstone right there, right? So he traveled all the way from Winterfell, okay, here, and then all across here, right, to Dragonstone. So that's where Jon Snow is right now, right? Obviously, he wants to meet with Daenerys Targaryen, not because he was summoned, although he was summoned, but because he wants the dragon glass. And as we know, the up north by the wall, the army of the dead is coming, right? And we know that dragon glass can kill them. I don't know if Jon Snow has experienced that himself, but he's taking the word of Tarly for that, so he trusts him a lot, and they know, and we know that as an audience that it does work. So there you go. All right, that's where Jon Snow is right now. Obviously, he did not bend the knee. He's not taking back the fact that he's king in the north, and whether Daenerys likes it or not, that's too bad for him right now. He has bigger problems. He tried to tell her, hey, the armies of the dead's coming, but she's not really believing it. I don't even think Tyrion believes it, although I think he believes Jon knows something, but I don't think they know the severity of what's going on. I don't think they know that, right? I mean, I just don't think they know that. So that's where Jon Snow is right now. Okay, he finds himself at Dragonstone, and then we also know that Cersei, right now, and just to give you an idea, this is where King's Landing is, right here, right? And first, this was the original plan. So as you know, Cersei was she's the current queen of Westeros, but she's not ruling the entire kingdoms or anything like that. And two things happened yesterday. So we know that the ships, okay, were burned down from the allies of Sand Snakes, right down in Dorne, okay. And I don't know what that means about Dorne and the Dornish people, okay, but I know they don't have leadership right now. Okay, so I don't know. They're going to explain this in the upcoming episodes. Okay, but the Sand, the widow of Oberyn and her daughters were captured. Okay, two of them were killed, obviously. Okay, and one of them was being captured. Cersei was given a gift. This is a gift, and she basically did the same thing, right? Kiss a daughter in the mouth with those with that poisonous lipstick, and she's gonna force her to watch her own daughter not only die, okay, see her last living breath, but also see her rot. She wants to. I mean, that is some brutal shit. I mean, that's kind of brutal. Um, I suppose it could be worse, but we don't have to go there. I was thinking worse stuff, to be honest. But especially what we've seen on Game of Thrones, right? But I guess we had enough of Ramsay. But this is definitely vile by Cersei. There's no doubt. Okay, and she's basically done with that. What does that mean about Dorne? I have no idea. They didn't really explain what's going to happen with Dorne. I don't even know what's happening in the Stormlands. I don't know what's happening in the Stormlands whatsoever. Nobody knows. So it's that is up for interpretation. Who's the Lord of the Stormlands right now? There's really no Baratheons anymore, so nobody really knows. All right, but anyway, that's where Cersei is, and to kind of explain the plan that Tyrion had. All right. So right here, this is we're gonna go ahead and circled in the red is King Landing. All right, and this is Casterly Rock right here. All right. Now, the Unsullied showed up in ships. All right. So they showed up in ships. I'm guessing that the Unsullied, right? And we'll go with we'll keep it red. This is Dragonstone right here. So I guess they went all down here, the Unsullied, and showed up to Lannisport this way, right? That's a long trip, man. That's a very long trip, right? Their ships were burned down by the guys in the Iron Islands. This is the Iron Islands right here, right? And let's change this color. There we go. This is the Iron Islands right here, all right? And they obviously they burned down their ships, okay? The plan that Tyrion had, if we look at the map, right? This was Tyrion Lannister's plan, right? Let's kind of erase all this. It's like playing with this shit, right? All right, so Tyrion's plan. So first of all, right, the plan was capture Casterly Rock, right? So the plan was capture Casterly Rock. That's the home of the Lannisters. And once you captured Casterly Rock, they were going to go ahead and come towards King's Landing and circle King's Landing, where nobody could come bring food, nobody could come to the King's Road, the Gold Road, the Rosewort Road, all that. Nobody could, help Cersei. And eventually she would have to surrender, right? And the plan was, and she would have no army because they were going to be defending Casterly Rock over here, right? Well, that didn't happen. All right, that did not happen. While they did take over Casterly Rock, right now the ships are burned down, so the Unsullied are going to have to travel through all this, okay, the Gold's Road or whatnot, okay, in foreign land to get to King's Landing, and they have no ships to get to Dragonstone, so that they're in a hell of a spot right now. And if they stay holding Casterly Rock, then that's a big chunk of her army that Khaleesi does not have, right? Now she still has, okay, the Dothraki army, right? And she still has 3 fucking dragons. I mean that hasn't gone anywhere, right? But she doesn't want to kill people, and she don't want any casualties, or hopefully nobody dies, and I don't want anybody to die, and I want everybody to live, and so that's her plan, which isn't going to work. All right, it's not going to work. So now her Unsullied are trapped over there, right? They have nowhere to go. They can't sail back to Dragonstone. They're done. All right, in foreign land, by the way. So they're in completely foreign land. They're going to have to march quite a distance to get back here. Now, the Reach, which is right here, this is what Jaime and them took over right here, right? They took over this spot. Now, let's go ahead and put that in red. So that's going to be, where is it at? The Grassy Vale. Is it the Grassy Vale? I don't remember, but anyway, the Reach. He took over the middle part of Westeros, which is important, right? This is where the Lannisters came. The Lannisters showed up over here, right? So at any point, they're available to, if the Unsullied march this way, all right, if they come this way over here, then Jaime can intercept them right here and block them from getting over to King's Landing, all right? So they'll have an army to fight the Unsullied. There'll be a collision there, all right? So it's a good move. by the Lannisters. Also, Dorne, which is down here, we don't know where Dorne stands right now, and we don't know where the Stormland stands right now. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on here. Okay, so this is a big mystery to me. Okay, there's a question mark. I don't know what's going on there, to be honest. All right, I don't know if a Lord is going to take over Dorne, and then knowing that the Sand Girls killed the Dornish king, maybe they won't be as loyal. Okay, so it's going to be interesting for those that remember that they killed their own king. All right, so that's what's going on there. All right, power move by Jaime, and now I believe what's happened now is that since Jaime's taking over this part, the Reach, at this point, everything from the Vale of Arryn all the way to the north, the Twins is no longer there. So all the Riverlands, all this right here, okay, and upward, is just not part of the war right now. Okay, right now the North is consumed with the White Walkers, and they have a King of the North now with Jon Snow. So they're just playing the pieces right now. Everything down south. That's it. Right, and then everything from the Vale up. I guess they're like, let's take care of this issue first, and we'll get back to that later. All right, but at this point, the original plan is gone. Right, it's the original plan is gone. So what Khaleesi, okay, what Daenerys Targaryen has to do ASAP is, first of all, she's already obliged with what's his name, with Jon Snow, right? So she's going to give him, dragon glass, all this. Jon Snow, I'm assuming, all right, he's going to get his dragon glass, and Jon Snow is going to get the hell out of Dodge, right? Jon Snow's going to go back to over there to Winterfell. That's where Jon Snow's going to go, right? So Jon Snow, that's how they're getting the glass and all that, right? What's going to happen at this point is they're going to have to either invade King's Landing or meet the Lannisters in the battlefield. They don't want any, maybe they say, well, it's going to be too dangerous to invade King's Landing because people are going to die. Well, they're going to have to meet Jaime Lannister. They're going to have to go through Blackwater Bay, right? And they're going to have to meet the Lannisters. It's just a way, like face to face, in the field, in the Reach. It's going to have to happen, right? There's just no other way around it. Okay, I believe the battle of it. Where's Trident River? I don't even remember. But anyway, it's here somewhere. But this is where the battle's going to take place. This is where the Lannisters took control right now. So and this is where Daenerys and her army are going to have to invade with her dragons and all right here. They're going to have to meet them in battle. There's just no other way around it. Okay, right there in the Reach. It's either that or they invade King's Landing. They've run out of options. Okay, and the reason I believe they'll do this, right, is because that's going to allow, not that I'm playing general or anything, but right now Castle Rock was taken over by the Unsullied, right? And this is where they can, if they can come this way, then they could surround, okay, the Lannisters, right? I mean, that's in theory. Now I don't know, right? But what's the guy's name, man? Is that his name? Tarly. Okay, General Tarly is. I'm going to call him General in this case, but Lord Tarly, he's basically the general of the army. Now, for those that don't know, Tarly is the only guy that defeated Robert Baratheon in the field of battle. Right? This guy knows the ins and outs of battle. Okay, like they know the ins and outs. So I'm not sure it's going to be that easy. Like it's just surrounding them and it's over. Like I think that we're only 3 episodes in. Like there has to be like they have to have something up their sleeves, and I honestly don't even know what it is. Right now, I don't know what it is. Okay, what it could be is is I don't know who has control of the Stormlands. Okay, and I don't know who's control of Dorne right now, but I don't know what team they're on. But and if somebody knows, you can tell me. But let's say the Stormlands and Dorne join Cersei fighting the foreign invaders in the blue. Okay, if they join in here, okay, this is going to be very problematic, right, for even the Dothraki and Unsullied. Now, some will say, well, what about the dragons? I think at some point the dragons are going to have to burn down some army in the ground because the show really has to show the power of the dragons at some point. I think at least one or two dragons will die. I don't think it'll happen anytime soon, though. I think it's more than likely one will die this season and one will probably die, or both will die in the last season. Okay, I don't think they're going to kill all three now, but that's where it's going to go down right there, right? That's where it's going to go down, and you have to understand another disadvantage that the Unsullied and Khaleesi have. Okay, another big disadvantage they have. Okay, even if Dorne and the Stormlands are not on their side. Okay, a lot of this part is like forest and stuff. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like it's just open land like over there in freaking the north. Okay, the reach is when you look at every city here. There's so many houses that are loyal to the crown. You know, it's not going to be an easy march for any of them. Okay, it's being a foreign invader is a big plus for Cersei. Okay, she's getting a lot of like, you know, she got, you know, lords to betray the Tarleys. I mean, you know what I mean? Oh, not the Tarleys. I'm sorry. The what are they? Oh, geez, there's so many fucking families in the show. Okay, you know, the Rose family, the one that the old lady just got killed. All right, the Tyrells. There we go. All right, it's they got them to betray the Tyrells. I mean, that's basically ultimately what happened. They betrayed the Tyrells. Okay, the Tyrells were betrayed, and that's one of the reasons they got so easily defeated. Right? It wasn't just the Lannister army. So they're dealing with that, and there's a lot of questions here. Jon Snow may very well, even if becomes an ally of Daenerys, is not exactly a friend. You know, it's and they have other issues in mind. Okay, now how is this ultimately going to end? That's the big question. All right, how is it ultimately going to end? Like, how do I believe it's going to happen? Okay, I honestly believe that eventually all this tactical stuff and army this, army that, and I honestly believe that one of the dragons will be killed. And Daenerys Targaryen is going to lose her shit. Okay, she considers these dragons like her children. So think about it. Like, what would a mother do if somebody killed one of her children? You know, these like she never had children before. I believe she never can, or something like that. She, you know, she's lost a lot in her life, and she feels like all she has are her dragons. Okay, as far as like family wise, anything that represents the Targaryen dynasty. Okay, it's in the dragons. And as soon as one of the dragons is killed, I honestly believe she is going to unleash, okay, her biggest dragon. I forgot the name of the biggest dragon, and the other one, of course. And they're going to just burn down King's Landing. Like, no care in the world. I think it's going to shock Tyrion. Okay, I think I do subscribe to the notion. Okay, once all this battlefield shit and tactically they're going to be having such a hard time, she's going to lose her shit. Okay, and she's going to just burn King's Landing to the ground. King's Landing will be burned down. You got to go back, I believe it's season 2, where she sees visions, okay, for those that remember, all right, in the House of the Undying. She sees these visions, and she walks in, and there's snow falling inside, okay, of the throne room, and everything looks burned down. right? That has to be from dragons, okay? And I believe she's gonna burn King's Landing to the ground. King's Landing is gonna go, okay? Bye bye King's Landing, and that's gonna be a huge power move. It's gonna shock Tyrion. It's gonna shock everybody, right? Um, what happens from there, I'm not sure, but I believe that's how this season's gonna end. Okay, we have about 7 more episodes to go. About 2 more episodes of bad tactics, and maybe, it looks like she's losing the war, and everything Tyrion is telling her, it just isn't working out, and she just loses her shit. One of her dragons gets killed, and she just has a moment of just anger, and boom, city gets burned to the ground. Probably the Lannisters' army gets burned to the ground, and in doing so, I don't know if she dies. I don't know if some people will kill her. All right, but I do believe, and I do subscribe to the theory that she will become like her father. She will become mad. Okay, they're already kind of foreshadowing it. Like she's becoming demanding, and demanding everybody like bend the knee, and stuff like that. So that's what I think's gonna happen. That's gonna happen this season because I believe it's gonna end with a long night. I think where she's gonna fit into that, I have no idea. Okay, I have no idea where she's gonna fit into that, but I know that the White Walkers are coming. I have a feeling by the end of this season, the wall's gonna come down. All right, and then and that's what they're gonna prepare us for. I think we're gonna go to the final season, season 8, with Daenerys Targaryen losing her shit. All right, and the wall crumbling down, and winter literally is here, right? Where it's snowing everywhere, right? Maybe she doesn't become the full out, Mad Queen yet, but it'll be a moment of anger. I think that she'll have. That's what I think. I ultimately think that's what's going to happen, right? And then of course you have to ask yourself, where does the One-Eyed Raven fit into this? Where does Jon Snow fit into this? Sansa and what she's doing with Littlefinger right now. What does this have to do with anything? A lot is going on. Okay, a lot is going on, and there's too many episodes left to say, well, all the pieces are going to come down together now. Like it's like, out of all those people that I just mentioned, right? Daenerys Targaryen, Tyrion, Jon Snow, Sansa, right? Of all those names, all characters that people like, right? Somebody just said 7 episodes this season. All right, fair enough. But of all those people that people like, right? At least one of them's gonna die. Like at the very least, one of them will die. I have a strong feeling, and Littlefinger has something going. Like he's plotting something, and I have a feeling he's going to be successful in at least one more thing, and it's not going to be good. And I'm wondering what that is. Like nobody really knows what that is. Now the One-Eyed Raven, who's little Bran Stark, but he kind of knows. He's going to know what Littlefinger is plotting. He's likely to tell Sansa that he's the one that betrayed father, right? He's the one that betrayed Ned Stark. And for those that don't know, this entire series, all these chains of events, wouldn't it be possible if Littlefinger, wasn't manipulating things behind the scenes? Littlefinger he got a lot of these things going. He's the one that killed Jon Arryn. He did. And he was the hand of the king. That's when Robert had to send a letter to Ned. He didn't send a letter. He went all the way to the north to ask Ned to become hand of the king. And that's why Ned had to go to King's Landing. And that's where Littlefinger betrayed Ned Stark. Right? That's all those chains of events. Okay, they were all caused by Littlefinger. Like everywhere Sansa ended up. What happened to the Starks ultimately in the Red Wedding? He had a hand in all those things Littlefinger did. You know, so he's going to be successful in at least one more thing. And I honestly don't know what it is. I just don't. Okay, is he going to convince Sansa? You know, is Sansa going to become fucking evil? I don't fucking know. Um, what's going to happen? And Ira is still in the mix. Okay, of all those characters, all the good ones, so the people, the ones at least that we see as the good ones, right? Jon Snow, Ira, Sansa, Bran Stark, the One-Eyed Raven, um, Daenerys Targaryen, Tyrion Lannister. Some of them are going to die. Like I just have a feel. It's been a while, by the way, since we've had a shocking death of a very important character that people loved. It's been a while, all right, and it's going to happen. It's at least before this season ends. If there's 4 more episodes this season, then a lot of this stuff is going to happen fast, and somebody's going to die in the upcoming episodes. I believe a dragon is going to die. Okay, Three-Eyed Raven. Three-Eyed Raven. My bad. Was I calling it One-Eyed Raven? But yeah, Three-Eyed Raven. Right? So, but somebody's gonna die. Like I don't know who, but somebody's gonna die, and I think Bran knows. The scary part is I think Bran knows a lot of this. Right? So we'll see what happens. I don't know what's gonna happen to the wildlings over there, and they're guarding the wall right now by what do they call it? Eastwatch by the Sea or some shit like that. Um, whatever it's called, okay? And they're gonna fucking die, all right? Now, some stuff that happened in the episode. I mean, obviously, Littlefinger's he's still trying to manipulate Sansa. It's kind of obvious. Sansa, obviously, the Three-Eyed Raven, aka Bran Stark, he showed up to Winterfell, told him, "Hey, you're the Lord of Winterfell," and he said, "I can't be the Lord of anything. You know, I'm the Three-Eyed Raven." She didn't understand what he meant by that, and a very confusing scene to me. If you know that your sister was raped on her wedding night, why would you bring that up? It's just kind of like a random. Maybe it's because he lacks like human empathy now or something. I'm thinking that's the only thing I can possibly think of. Because he didn't even look. I mean, he was sorry about what happened, but he didn't look devastated about it. You know, like it was kind of weird. You know, but it threw her off, and then it was eerie too, like because the snow was falling kind of similar, and you know it was in her home, and you know it's you know just terrible. Uh, like he just and the way he brought it up, he brought it up like as if like I'm sorry you lost your job type of a way, you know, like it just it seemed kind of weird, and maybe he's just lacking. Maybe because he could see everything all at once, and because he's seen so much terrible things, he's kind of numb to a lot of this stuff. You know, I'm thinking that that's probably it, but it sounds like that's what the issue is. You're good with Littlefinger, yeah. Now I don't know what Littlefinger has planned though. He's going to be successful in one more thing before they kill him. I have a feeling. Right now, the only thing we know is this. So according to the writer of the book, and because he kind of told the ending to the screenwriters, is that the ending is bittersweet. Now I don't know if they're going to finish it the same way the books are, and at this point, I mean, it's probably way different to what the books are going to be, right? It's become way more simplistic now. Um, like a lot of events are happening in a matter of one episode, where they took like 6 episodes before for those number of chaining of events to happen in the first few seasons. But just far more simplistic. But if it's going to be bittersweet, then I wonder what that. I don't know what that means exactly. As far as I don't know what bittersweet means, but I don't know what that means for the characters. Like that tells me that I think good is going to ultimately prevail, but at a great cost. You know, so that tells me that Cersei is not going to be, you know, the victor at the end, and neither are the White Walkers. But it also tells me that, you know, maybe Daenerys Targaryen is going to turn evil, and they're going to have to kill her or something. Okay, or Daenerys, even if she doesn't turn evil, she's going to die, or all the 3 dragons die, or something like that. You know, and that's where it's going to get interesting. Bran spent a lot of time in that vision. He's detached from reality in there. Well, that could be true. Um, it's just kind of. I mean, I obviously don't have the power of the three-eyed raven, so I have no idea how I would react to all that. But if I had visions of something like that happening to my sister and I'm having a conversation with her, I don't know. I'll just bring that up in a casual conversation. You know? Oh, by the way, I'm so sorry for what happened to you. It was just, he spoke to her like not as a brother, but as like a, I don't know, like some stranger that kind of heard her story. Like it kind of reminds me of like a victim saying something on TV and a TV host saying, "Oh, I'm very sorry that happened to you." That's kind of what it kind of reminded me of. But yeah, I don't even know if I'm forgetting anything. Um, the red woman, she's gonna go back to Essos, and all the way back from where her religion is from. I don't know what she's. I guess she said she's gonna be back, but I don't know. I really don't know what her ultimate mission is gonna be. Okay, Volantis or something like that is where she's going. I don't know what that's about, but hey, and Sam Tarley, I don't know if he's already served his purpose. Like he's kind of given Jon Snow the information he needs, and I'm guessing he's still there to give Jon Snow some very important information. And will he end up being the Archmaester of the whoever ends up as a king at the end? I don't know, but although it would seem like too fast, like it takes years to do that, but they're like it also takes years to become a faceless man. And look at Ira, like she's already like a expert assassin after a couple. What is it? Maybe a year that she spent doing that, if that. But everything is fast forwarded a lot in this series, so nothing that's really standing out here. If you guys haven't noticed, like a lot of these scenes could have been some epic battle scenes. Like it's like um, when the Unsullied invaded, Casterly Rock. I don't know, like they showed it, but they showed some of it, and it was kind of cool. And they had kind of Tyrion explain how they kind of snuck in through the sewers and all that, and I don't know. It seems to me like they could have done a whole episode of that invasion. So I understand, like, okay, you want to cut it to 7 episodes. Well, you could have done 8 episodes. You could have shown that whole invasion. I think that would have been kind of cool. Because I don't know how many more chances we're going to have to see the Unsullied in action. I mean, the Unsullied are they're supposed to be unbelievable soldiers. I mean, they have protected, I guess whatever you want to call it, slavers or whatever they call them over there in Essos, right? They protected them from Dothraki invasions, like, you know what I mean? And while the Dothrakis were in horses and stuff, so they're supposed to be like probably the best fighters in all the lands, So I don't know. I think they could have done an episode like that. I think it would have been cool. But I'm guessing that the reason they didn't is we have some battle scenes coming in the last 2-3 episodes of the season, is what I'm guessing. Okay, they could only fit so much to the budget, so that's why they didn't show any of the battle scenes that occurred when Jaime Lannister invaded, right, over there in the Reach. But let's see. They skipped Highgarden. There you go. They skipped the Castle Rock and Highgarden battles because they spend more budget on next episode battle. Well, I agree with that. I just think I would have loved to have seen even though it wasn't all the Lannisters, but the Lannisters. I'm sorry, the Unsullied successfully defeat whatever amount of Lannisters there was there. Okay, but hey, they did what they did. So what are you gonna do, right? It was good. It was good. I mean, but I would like to have seen that battle scene. But it looks like if we're already going to be in the 4th episode, yeah, I think they may spend 2-3 episodes just on one battle. So it's going to be interesting how that goes. I don't know if anything will ever beat the amazing battle scene that we saw last season. Okay, over there in the Battle of the Bastards. Okay, I don't know if anything will ever be better than that. Like that was, forget Game of Thrones. It was the best battle scene I've ever seen. Okay, movies, shows. I mean, that show was amazing. So I don't know if they'll ever be able to top that, but if they could come close, man, it will be great. It really will. All right, but we'll see where it goes from here. All right, I don't. They're keeping us guessing. They're not making stuff obvious, at least not to me. The way it was going to go, if you guys remember, man, it felt like Cersei had no shot. Like it felt like, she was at the brink of just crumbling. But look where she's at. She's already paid off the Iron Bank. It's after they invaded Highgarden, they took all their gold. It's paid her debts off, so she could borrow from the Iron Bank now. She could buy sellswords. I don't know if they still have Unsullied or not. I think Daenerys took them all, but if anyone has any, she could buy that. Okay, she has a lot of room for spending a lot of gold in this war. And that means weapons, that means food, that means manpower. So it's going to be interesting how this plays out. And she has lords from the land, not foreign invaders. So it's going to be very, very interesting. All right. This is more cost than Battle of the Bastards. And this is what they said. Well, she claimed she's going to pay the guy before he left back, is what she claimed. But nonetheless, like she has her trust now. Like it's the Iron Bank. At least seems like in a way is on her side, right? So we'll see. Anyway, this is the style. That's my take. Okay, that's my little small take here on this, and that's all I got to say, man. Anyways, guys, peace.